Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're going to be headed back to the Cards of Power universe. I get tons of suggestions for the Cards of Power universe, but to be honest, I'm sometimes not sure how to continue the story. We've made the main character so wildly powerful at this point with deity-level creatures that I need a new plot point. Someone did suggest some sort of secret tournament you are invited to, so we could go ahead with that. But tonight, we're actually going to do a bit of a spin-off. So, just like my Dominic the Dingo story, this one takes place in the Cards of Power universe, only it's not about you. It's about a different card holder. A card holder named William. This one was suggested by a person named William from Australia who wanted a series with an elemental kangaroo and a wombat. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Before we get started with that, I just want to thank my newest Patreon sponsors. First of all, thank you to William, who made that suggestion because he just joined Patreon. Thank you to Axel and Linus from Alaska. I wonder if there's a lot of Dad's Bedtime Stories people in Alaska. And last, thank you to Liza and Carl. As I've said before, it's pretty hard to monetize kids' podcasts, so Patreon's really the main thing keeping this thing going. We certainly do get ads from time to time, but they're kind of few and far between these days. So, if you want to sponsor the podcast, you can join me on Patreon, either with a monthly pledge, or if you head to the store, there's just one-time donation buttons as well. There are some bonus episodes up there, of course, and I will be putting more of my Unbound Superhero Academy chapters up as I make them, and I really need to make another one soon here. I even just started a secret podcast feed for Patreon listeners, so if you're already on Patreon, you can go in there and you can kind of sign up on your favorite podcast app and listen to any stories I post there, both the ones that are posted for everyone and the ones that are only posted on Patreon. Now it's time to get as comfy as you can in that bed. Close your eyes and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. William woke up more excited than usual because today was William's choosing day. The day in every young person's life where their parents send them to a wizard who gives them a card core, a magical card, and then sends them into the forest to battle magical creatures. It was a practice that might seem like irresponsible parenting to most of our listeners, but to those living in the Cards of Power universe, it was really just an expectation, a part of everyone's life. William got dressed, had breakfast as quickly as he could, and then begged his father for a ride. "Dad, come on, we have to go. I don't want to be the last one there. I want the first pick of cards." "Oh, all right. I remember being your age. Come with me." William and his dad headed outside. As soon as they got out there, his father activated his very own card core. The bright blue card appeared floating in front of him, and then transformed itself into a large dragon. A dragon that had been with his father since he was a kid. A dragon named Sparkles. William and his father both climbed on top of the large dragon, and with a puff of Sparkles, it shot up into the sky, flew high above Australia, until eventually spotting some of the protected areas. Ginormous domes that shot up high into the air, covering both the ground and the sky above. Sparkles glided down towards a little camp area set up just outside, the protected beginner area. William slid off of the dragon and looked back at his father. "All right, kid, have fun. Check in every now and then, too, so we know you're alive. It's easy to get carried away in capturing a whole bunch of cards, but, we like to kinda know you're okay, too." With that, William's father, along with Sparkles the dragon, took back off into the sky and flew away. William knew that he may not see his father for quite a while. After all, it was a tradition for new card holders to head into the beginner area, capture cards of their own, and often they would stay at the nearby hotel or lodgings provided for card holders. The whole thing was funded by the Wizards Council. The system had many benefits. Number one, it kept young people active and, busy. Young people who weren't busy tended to get up to some trouble. Second, it kept the population of creatures inside the protected areas at a nice, manageable level. And last, it kept the card economy going. Trading of cards and tokens, after all, was the backbone of the Cards of Power world. William made his way to the large, ornamental-looking tent at the center of the little camping area. As he swung open the flaps, he entered into a tent that was much larger than it looked on the outside. Obviously, this tent itself was some sort of spatial magic. On the outside, it looked like a simple, 6 or 7 person tent, but on the inside, it resembled a circus tent. Other kids his age were already gathered in a clump, surrounding a tall wizard with a long white beard and a really cool-looking staff. William pushed his way through some of the other kids, making his way to the front of the group. "Ah, William, I believe that makes all of us," the wizard announced. "Now, as you all know, today is a very special day. Today is the day you will each receive your card core. A core that will attach itself to your very being and allow you to hold and control magical creatures and magical cards of all different kinds. By accepting your card core, you join a tradition that has been going on for hundreds of years. Oh, and I almost always forget to explain that the card core is also designed to regulate duels. If you accept a duel with another card holder, the terms of the duel will be upheld by the card core. For example, if you agree that the winner of a duel will receive a single card from the loser's deck, then the card core will ensure that it happens. Are you all ready?" The wizard looked left and right, and all of the kids slowly nodded in acceptance. "Very good, then." The wizard lifted his staff up in the air and knocked it on the ground 3 times. It began to glow a bright blue color. The blue grew into a large orb and then split into multiple different glowing orbs. The orbs made their way from the staff towards each of the kids, including William. The orb just floated in front of him for a second, but with another tap of the wizard's staff, It shot directly into his chest. William could feel electricity surging through his entire body, and suddenly, he felt like he had a new sense. Just like an arm or leg, William could sense the card core. Very good. Now I'm sure it feels strange at first, but you'll get used to it. And it should feel even better once you get a card in it. Now, let's see what we have here. The wizard tapped his staff on the ground again, and suddenly, cards started to shoot out of his robes. They spun around the wizard and then hovered in the air, creating a sort of perfect wall. These are the cards that you may choose from, the wizard said. There are many types of cards in the world, but here we have mostly picked cards that will give you a special power, or cards containing a magical creature that can battle for you. The decision is yours. Well, having some sort of personal power might be tempting. William knew that what he wanted was a magical companion. He could always capture some wild magic or trade cards later for personal powers. Right now, he needed a companion, just like his father had with Sparkles the dragon. He scanned through the section of cards floating in the air that had all sorts of different magical creatures. There were fire lizards, wind falcons, stone koalas. But eventually his eyes landed on a rather strange-looking creature, a muscular kangaroo surrounded by all sorts of swirling elements. "What's this one?" he asked. "Ah, that is a very special card, the Elemental Kangaroo. It's likely one of the most powerful beginner cards you could ask for, due to its diversity of elements. It wields both ice, water, fire, lightning, earth, and even wind, using basic attacks, of course. The only downside is, well, the card's attitude." What do you mean its attitude?" William asked. "Well, let's just say that many before you have selected that card, and every single one of them has eventually found their way back to me, begging to trade it for another. It's fair to say that, while powerful, the kangaroo is a bit annoying, perhaps, grating on the nerves." "What's so bad about it?" William asked. Well, for one, it speaks in a sort of strange accent, not quite Australian and wildly inconsistent. And second, it tries to give more advice than people really want. Last, I'm told it's rather arrogant. Its power may make it strong, but it believes it's much more powerful than it actually is. "Oh," William says, thinking about it. Does he really want a kangaroo with a bad Australian accent that's gonna constantly give him advice? What could it hurt? William figured. It was, after all, the most powerful looking card. I think I'll take it, William said. "Are you sure?" William nodded in response. "Well then, the card is yours. Just reach out and grab it." William reached out and took a hold of the card. What do I do now?" he asked. "Now, reach into your card core. connect to the card itself and accept it. William held the card out, closed his eyes, and focused on his card core. He could feel it sort of spark to life inside him. He connected it to the card, and the card immediately began to glow a bright blue color before shooting into his body. He could feel the card inside the card deck. Somehow it had its own distinct taste or smell or, well, a sense he couldn't quite put his finger on. Either way, he could tell it was there. Very good. Now to summon the card, simply activate your card core, connect to the card you want, and will it to appear. It's honestly quite easy, but difficult to explain. I think I got it. Thank you. Hopefully I won't be back here begging you to switch it. With that, William walked outside the tent. He moved over to a nice open area and decided to call the card forward. He reached into his card core, activated the card, and suddenly, a bright blue glowing card appeared in front of him, then reformed itself in a swirl of energy into a large, muscular kangaroo. "G'day, mate. Name's Skip. Guess you're my new boss. Or the other way around, depending on who you ask." William didn't know what to think. Immediately, he could tell that the wizard wasn't lying. This thing did have a terrible Australian accent. In fact, he wasn't sure we could consider it Australian at all. Well, I was thinking we could head into the beginner area and maybe capture some more cards. That's a great idea, the kangaroo answered. Right. Okay, Skip, let's go. With that, William and Skip walked over towards the very first gate, the gate that led to the beginner area. As they approached, the gate connected to William's card core. He didn't need any special credentials to enter a beginner area. All he needed was a simple card core with a card. The gate automatically opened up, and William and Skip entered the beginner area. The place stretched out in all directions. In one direction, there were sort of grasslands. Another led to red rock gorges, another to eucalyptus groves, and another to a kind of water area with a whole bunch of water holes. "Well, where would you like to explore?" Skip asked. I don't know, maybe that way?" William answered, pointing towards the water holes. "All right then, let's get going." William continued to walk as Skip continued to jump beside him. "So, you've done this before?" William asked. "Yep, this is my 10th try, I believe. For some reason, the people who have me keep returning me to the wizards." Any idea why that is?" William asked. "Not really. I'm one of the most powerful beginner creatures there is. I wield almost all of the elements. People should be lucky to have me, but unfortunately they keep making fun of my accent. They say it slowly changes and isn't in any way Australian. Normally that leads to an argument, and then they decide to get a more agreeable creature. You don't have a problem with my accent though, do ya?" Skip asked while staring into William's eyes. No, your accent's fine, I guess. Honestly, as long as you're good at battling creatures, I'm happy to work with you. Creature battling is one of my specialties. Before I was captured into a card, I was the king of this here beginner area. Oh, cool. So you grew up here? Yep. This is where I was born, where I battled other creatures, until one day a powerful card holder came and, well, let's just say he had creatures more powerful than I was. As they continued to walk, they heard a strange noise. William and Skip looked to see what it was, and they soon found themselves staring at a wombat. A chunky ice wombat, by all measures, digging itself a little burrow. The thing was covered in ice, as was the ground underneath it. Soon, realizing that something or someone was looking at it, the ice wombat spun around and stared at William. It took in a deep breath and shot out a stream of ice that flowed right underneath William's feet, creating kind of an ice rink below him. Before he knew it, William slipped on the ice and slammed down on his back. Skip broke out laughing. "Oh, you've never been on the ice before, have ya?" Skip asked. "That's, just get it, or whatever." "Understood. You just stay there and relax a little bit, and I'll take care of this here ice wombat." William, who was now bruised and sitting down on the ground, was also a little bit annoyed at the kangaroo. It wasn't so much the accent, though that was annoying. It was more the way it said things. There was just something grating about it. Though his opinion of the creature was about to change. The ice wombat took in a deep breath and shot another stream of ice towards the kangaroo. Skip jumped up in the air, did a perfect front flip, and then slammed down into the ground, all the while yelling, "Earth Stomp!" As it slammed into the ground, it created a small sort of earthquake. All of the ice shattered, and the ground beneath the wombat shot up, sending the little creature flipping through the air and then landing on its back. The creature righted itself, sort of looked angry, and charged towards the kangaroo. "No, no!" Skip yelled as the creature ran towards him. "He's coming right for me!" But at the last moment, Skip just stepped to the side and stuck his tail out, tripping the wombat, causing him to fumble and stumble all over the ground once again. "What's the matter, wombat?" he asked. Again, the wombat righted itself, looked straight at him, and started to glow a bright blue color. The air all around William suddenly got colder and colder and colder. The trees started to coat themselves in ice, the ground froze, and William started to become a little bit worried. But the kangaroo didn't look worried at all. "Oh, isn't that cute?" he said. "You're getting kinda angry, are you?" Skip lifted up his tail, jammed it down into the ground, and hooked it around a rock. He jumped up in the air, performed another perfect front flip, and used the momentum to fire the rock down towards the wombat. The wombat jumped out of the way, but as soon as he landed at the side, Skip started to glow with lightning. Then he unleashed a lightning bolt from the tip of his tail that struck the wombat straight on. It was temporarily stunned. Skip jumped up in the air once again, slammed down on the ground, and created another small earthquake that led to 2 rocks shooting up out of the ground on either side of the wombat and slamming together. The wombat looked kind of dizzy and then fell over on the ground and began snoring. As much as William didn't really like how the kangaroo talked, he couldn't argue with the results. "I believe it's your turn now," Skip said. Right," William replied, realizing that he had to now turn this thing into a card, something he'd never done before. He walked over to the sleeping wombat and knelt down beside it. How do I do that?" he asked. "Well, all you need to do is make contact with the thing, activate your card core, and kind of follow your instincts." So, William decided to do just that, placing his hand on the sleeping wombat and activating his card core. It came to life with a surge of power. Then William could sort of feel the wombat's power as the card core connected with it. It felt icy and cold. He focused on the energy, and then, instinctively, he started to imagine it turning into a card. Below his hand, the wombat started to glow. It swirled around with energy and reformed itself into a glowing blue card. William reached out and grabbed the card out of the air. As he did, it solidified into a sort of normal-looking card. "Ice Wombat," it said, "beginner level." He focused on the card once again using his core and accepted it into his card core. The card glowed a bright blue color once again and then shot into his chest. He could now feel another spot inside, one that felt distinctively like an ice wombat. Good job, Skip. You really do seem to know what you're doing." "Oh, thanks," Skip replied. "I couldn't have done it without you." Actually, I could have done it without you. You really did nothing." "Right," William replied. He then noticed that the sun was starting to go down. Maybe we should make it back to the start of the beginner area and stay in that little inn there. It looks like it's getting kind of late." "Oh, yeah, it does. Don't want to be around here at night, I can tell you." "All right, hop aboard," Skip said, bending down as if he were offering William a piggyback. "You want me to ride on your back?" he asked. "Well, what do you think I'm doing this for? Climb on, I promise it'll be fun." So William walked up to the kangaroo, hopped on his back, and the kangaroo began to bounce into the air. It felt like being on a pogo stick. Bounce after bounce, William and Skip shot up into the air, moving quickly towards the beginner area entrance. When they arrived at the gate, William climbed off of the kangaroo, and the two exited together. Just outside, as there was in every beginner area, was a small hotel, only for cardholders. William and Skip walked inside and went up to the desk. "Hi there, welcome to the hotel. Are you looking for a room for the night?" the person at the desk asked. Yeah, one room, please." "All right, sign these papers," she said, pushing some papers in front of William. William quickly read through them, signed the bottom, and passed them back. "All right, you're going to be in room number 2. She grabbed a key, handed it to William, and he took it. They walked through the reception area, down a long hall until they eventually came to the rooms. Number 2. He placed the key in the door, unlocked it, and opened it up into a very simple and very basic hotel room. The whole thing consisted of 2 beds and a washroom. That was about it. But that was really all William needed. You want to be back in your car to sleep?" William asked Skip. "Do I want to? Well, no one's given me the choice before. You know, I don't really like being in my card. It's much better to be out here in the open, where I can live." All right then, you can have the bed on the right," William said. Skip jumped up into the air and landed sideways on the bed. "This is really comfortable," he said, pulling the sheets up over top of himself. William flipped off the lights and climbed into the other bed himself. It was actually pretty comfortable. He pulled the covers up to his chin, and slowly, he allowed himself to sink down into the mattress, closing his heavy eyes. With each breath, he sank down deeper and deeper, until his mind began to wander off to thoughts of new dreams and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.